Anything you wanted to add, Gina?
So one of your fans stopped by earlier today and said that they wanted to buy the two of you Jameson shots.
Oh, nice.
You know what? My wife's here. My wife can drive, so I guess I can do that. Okay, you're right. I'll drive. My wife will take the shot.
Well, okay, how about this? How about the fan picks up your two shots and I'll pick up her shot?
Oh, wow. Well, that's a deal, and we'll just all Uber.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 3 Jamesons coming up.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm Irish. I have Irish whiskey in my blood, and so I don't think I technically get drunk when I drink it. That's the way it works, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ken just said that Michael Russo wants a Manischewitz. Not that we would ever stereotype on this show. Let's do some Twitter questions here. Feel free to come back and get the mic. Anybody wants to come up and ask a question? We won't be too tough
You know
on
who
you.
this from? iTodd.
Oh, iTodd, our buddy iTodd. I was
Thanks.
hoping he was going to be here. But iTodd, thank you so much
Thank you very much
for ordering the drinks. That'll make this a really interesting show. Twitter question from somebody named Barbara Tabin.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
If you don't know, that's Michael's mother. She says, hey, Jim, how about brunch with Stacy on Sunday? Oh, and Russo gets to come, too. We'll have to talk about that. I have to cover the
Actually, and I have plans Sunday for us, so.
We are both blowing off your mother. That's just sad.
No, I have plans for us.
Plus,
Plus I
gotcha.
gotta fill in for Barrero on Sunday.
Okay, I gotcha. Barbara also says, hi, Vicky and Clyde. From Jordan Durand, can't wait to come down for a show. I think we have a hockey question here someplace. Luke Reachins ask the real Russo, how are the efforts to find out who the real Russo Slacks is? We actually know
met
who
him
it
once.
is. We met him.
Yeah.
It was a momentous occasion, too.
Yeah, I told the story on a recent podcast that I tried to go through my Facebook and unfriend anybody that could possibly be him, and I somehow missed him. So he's still stalking me, stealing my photos, things like that.
Luke, you got a question for us?
No offense, Russo Slacks.
It sounds like you intended a lot of offense, actually.
Yeah.
First of all, thanks for the shout-out for my new daughter.
Yeah.
Now also a Wild and Whitecaps fan. My question is, well, I guess it's more of a perspective. So the Capitals winning has given me hope for the Wild because I always felt like they and the Wild shared the same ailments. And going into this year, everyone thought that this was the one Capitals team that had no shot because they didn't add any key pieces. How would you relate the two, and should we actually be kind of cautiously optimistic with the Wild, the fact that, they're more or less going in the same team, and do you think the dynamics of, I don't know, like if no trades happen, does Nino become more or less motivated, or how does this all play if it ends up being more or less the same
There's a
team
lot to
going on?
unravel there. Look, I don't want to
You got him
be a
agitated, Luke.
cynical,
Good job, man.
negative person, but unless Ovechkin and Kuznetsov and all these guys are on this team, to me it's just, the Wild aren't going to suddenly become a Stanley Cup contender because they're coming back with the same team because Washington won the Cup. There's a reason why Washington won the Cup, and the Wild don't have anything like that on this team. In terms of Nino, nothing's going to not make Nino motivated. The guy is, look, he's a pro, great guy, dealt with a boatload of injuries last year. And he's got a pedigree of scoring goals, and he provides something that this team does not have. So I don't think it's the worst thing in the world if you don't move him. But the reality is that the bad taste that they are entering the season with these fans is one, tiredness of this same thing happening every single year, and the fact that the guys that Chuck Fletcher and Brent Flair have built this team around for years and years and years and wouldn't trade for anybody all failed in the postseason. Every one of them. And that is what's hurting right now. The reason why the Jason Zucker deal isn't done is because the Wild are saying to him, you look at your history. Look at your goals in the postseason. That's what they're trying to tell the agents. And, what they almost, they don't even know what his value would be if he went to ARB because I can tell you if it goes to ARB, what's going to be contentious is they are going to take his postseason analytics and his postseason production over the years and try to use that against him in an ARB hearing. So they don't know, is he a $4.5 million player or a $5.25 million player? But his agents think he's a $6 million player right now, and they definitely don't. So just like last year where we kind of, you know where the deal is going to come in for a lot of these guys, like we know right now if they want to sign Zucker at 5 times 5, let's say that he's asking for 6. We all know it's going to come in at probably Nino's deal at 5.25 or hair right there. And so it'll take a little while to get it done, but it'll eventually get done with the pressure that arbitration brings. But that's the negativity going into this year, is that these guys again failed, and so they've got to figure out a way not to do that. And it is unfortunate and probably unfair because it's a different series if Spurgeon's not playing at 55%, and he should not have been playing. It's insane what he was when he used to take off his gear. He used to, like, the postseason was a week old, okay? Like, I'm making it like it was like this long history. But he geared down once in Winnipeg after it was game 1 there, and I couldn't believe what he had wrapped around him, like how he even moved on the ice. I mean, it's insane he was playing. And if Suter is not out, like, they lost, and then you lose Parisi at the end of a game that he probably shouldn't have been on the ice for. So it's unfair. I still think they lose to Winnipeg with all those guys healthy, but still, we're judging it off another first-round exit when they didn't have, at the end, their top 2 defensemen. I mean, you can't win a series with Soucy and Murphy and those guys in the lineup, so that's my answer to that.
You got them wound up. Good job, Luke. I appreciate it. Grab whichever the shirts.
Nothing gets me wound up more than asking if the Wild could win the Cup because Washington did.
And you all know what that means. It means every show we do at Dulono, somebody's got to ask that question.
Yeah.
Yes, fire away.
That, and what do I do during the off season?
I was about to ask that.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
by the way, let's just talk about my mother for 1 second. We talked about the whole Nicholas Backstrom thing from years ago. I cannot stop getting texts from her about what Daniel Winnick is going to be doing in the next I honestly, I almost threw my phone across my freaking apartment, like it beeped. You think that the Wild just made a trade. Is Daniel Winnick going to, are you freaking, who cares? Honestly. Next. Sorry. Like, Daniel Winnick has become the Matt Cullen and Nicholas Backstrom. Man,
Winnick will be
this
home
Jameson,
playing with
one
his
sip of
Bulldogs.
Jameson, and I've
As
lost
you know,
control.
he'll be home playing with the Bulldogs.
Yeah. Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
I'm here on behalf of Reddit
Nice.
and other people and Discord and things.
Yeah, okay.
So I have multiple questions.
Okay.
Did you know there's an emoji of you?
An emoji?
Yes.
No, I did not.
Oh, my God.
There is.
Like
Describe it for me, please.
Does it have a bald spot?
It's bald
Just
spot,
a happy
red
smiley
face.
face.
Oh,
So
yeah.
when we
Well,
all
that's not
share
accurate.
your articles, your face always pops up afterwards.
Oh, nice. That's
Yes.
cool. All right.
I didn't
guess.
make it.
Okay.
You sound so uncomfortable.
So my actual face is
Do you
an
want to
emoji?
see it?
Yes.
kinda-
Yes, we definitely want
Yeah.
to see it.
Oh, yeah.
So this is
One
on
moment.
Reddit?
It's actually on the Discord based off of Reddit.
Okay, what's that mean? I'm not a Reddit. I
Discord's
don't.
a big, giant server chat room that we
Okay.
all follow and watch all the games together and talk to each other.
Okay.
And we got guys from Sweden and
Wow.
a
Awesome.
couple of Dutch guys and Australians.
Yeah,
and
where's Jake? One of our reporters here. That sounds like a story he should write.
I'm in charge of it, so don't push your limits. What would the Wild have to do to trade for Karlsson? That comes from Discord.
Well, here's the deal with Karlsson, and to me, it's the same as. That's cool. That's what I look like.
That's what you look like when you're this big.
Yeah. At least you can't see my bald spot on that.
God, I need
next
one of
to you.
those.
I mean, to me, the Karlsson question to start
Thank
off
you.
with is the same as the Skinner question, the Simmons question, the Panarin question, the thing like that. Like, you have to make sure that this guy is going to resign here. And then do they have the belief that they could afford $12 million for this guy? And here's my concern with trading Karlsson. And I love the guy. But to get him, you're probably going to have to trade, probably one of your big D, but then probably a couple of those forwards. So now you trade Karlsson and you pay him $12 million. Well, who the hell's up front? Like, they don't have, the Wild's cupboard is so bare that you don't have, guys that you can just throw into the mix to all of a sudden play cheaply as top forwards in that situation. So now to get Carlson, you're blowing a hole through your forward core, and can you win that way? So I just don't see how it fits, how it works. I don't know how you get him to re-sign here. So, again, now the one thing is that if Paul Fenton wants him at the beginning, you can at least talk to him. According to the reports right now, is that you can at least talk to him to find out if he'd have a chance to re-sign here. So that's where it starts. You have to talk to him and say, would you re-sign here if we trade for you? Because we can't give out 50 assets to, not. So I don't know. I just don't see. I know that every time anybody brings up a big trade to me, I say I don't see how it fits, but a lot of it's I really just don't. Like all the guys that right now are interesting to trade for are all guys in the last year of a contract. They're going to require huge assets and get a huge raise. Like Jeff Skinner is a great example. Be an awesome player, but he's already makes $5.75, so you could probably get him to resign here. But what are you going to have to pay him? And then Pacioretty just fired his agent because he felt like his agent was too cozy with Mark Bergevin. So he hires Alan Walsh, who's going to want to hit in a Vander Kane, James Van Riemsdyk deal. So are you going to blow a bunch of assets to trade for him now? Wayne Simmons, the same thing. Perfect for the Wild, in my opinion, but you're going to have to re-sign him. And by the way, his agent is the agent for Ennis, who's already pissed with him with the way that happened to Ennis. Spurgeon, who's already ticked because he just had to give him a no-trade clause, and by the way, probably another no-trade clause in next. By the way, those no-trade lists that they got last week are no longer good. The Wild have to again now go to all these players and get new no-trade lists for this upcoming season, so they're already ticked about that, and they're fighting with them for Jason Zucker. So now you already got that dynamic as Wayne Simmons coming here and an agent that's not exactly going to be friendly with the whole Wild in a negotiation.
I'm about to ask Michael.
Were there any more questions, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
If you have any more. Thank you. Grab a shirt or a hat or something if you like. We appreciate you being here. I am going to ask you what you're doing this summer, but first I want to welcome Tony Hoaglund. He sponsors this show and a couple other shows on the TalkNorth.com network, and he's also a big hockey fan. So start off by asking Russo a question.
Oh, I don't really have. Everybody's asked such good questions today.
Okay, then ask him what he does during the summer.
What I was looking at is that big list of whiskey over there, and I was trying to figure out which one of them Russo dropped off of his shelf the other night. And
Bushmills.
Ooh. Smashed all
God,
over
it pissed me off. Did I tell that story on the podcast? Yeah.
You did.
It still bothers me, especially when I stepped on a piece of glass the other day.
Oh.
I thought I got it all, but apparently I didn't. And little tiny fragments of glass, a lot harder to get out and much more painful than. Anyway, we went to Bushmills last year, and I got a personalized bottle that you buy there, and right now I'm trying to sell my place. So if you want to buy it, call me. I'll give you a deal. And so the stager had me put all this stuff away for the pictures, and I put this thing in there, and I just didn't expect it to be in there, and then boom, it went out and broke all over and it was in this awesome canister type thing, and it just ticked me off.
It bothers you so much.
Andy knows what I'm talking. I was with Andy when I bought it. He was on that Ireland-Scotland trip.
It bothers you so much, I think we're just going to have to keep bringing it up as often as possible.
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
Tony
sponsors a lot of shows on the network. His last name is Hoaglund. You can Google him or check out his website. He's a State Farm agent, works out of Champlin. Michael and I both get our insurance through Tony, and Tony's got a couple of cool things to bring up today.
Yeah, well, first thing's a fun fact. I'm actually cousins with the brains of the operation.
No way.
Yeah, we're
Monticello people.
Long-lost cousins.
Wow.
So.
They spell their last names differently.
Wow, yeah. Look at that. That's
so
crazy.
I think it was my great-great-grandfather got in a fight with her great-great-grandfather, and mine added an A to the last name, and hers kept just the O.
Wow, that's an awesome story.
Yeah, so she tells me she spells it the right way, which is why Jim does such a good job of spelling it every time that we...
the A is for antagonistic, I think.
That's right, yeah. Yep. So we got a couple cool things going on this summer. We have a July 14th block party at my office in Champlin. So we're going to do live Talk North shows. Unfortunately, Michael's out of town at the Italy trip, but Jim's got some shows that are to be determined. Definitely bring the kids. There's going to be a bounce house, face painting. BMX bike professionals are getting flown in from the bike shop that's right next to me, and they're doing a BMX bike shop thing, so it'll be pretty cool. And then the last thing, and we're going to just start doing this for every show, But anybody that calls the office and mentions the Russo-Souhan Show, I'll donate $16 to the Give 16 campaign for this.